After Richard's set, I obviously thought that I may as well. This has got exactly the same title as one of his poems. I don't want this to be seen as an attack on Richard's poem, because it's kind of the opposite perspective to that. And I'm not having to go at him, but this is my poem, which is called Airshafts, which is written from the other side of being on the receiving end of that line. You tell me you have to walk on eggshells, and I wonder what eggshells you mean. Is it the fact you can't call me a fag because the same blood flows in both our veins? Is it that you can't say how much I disappoint your sense of your own manhood when I paint my nails and talk like I'm a girl? Is it the thought that all the other men laugh at you behind your scrum half's back, snickering if I'm the best you managed? There must be something wrong with you as well. Let me tell you something. I wake up each morning wishing for a love that I can't have in this hair-armoured skin, your poison gift to me. This body which I cannot move to music as I want to because I fear fingers which might first just point and laugh, but later curl into corrective fists. Because when I sit on the bus, knees together, hands in lap, I keep my eyes from making contact, scared of being dragged into the aisle and kicked to death by boys who never doubted that a boy is what they are, while the passengers look on. And the one thing that would make that trip home worth it, the strong hands of a tough and boy-like girl enclosing mine and giving me a place where I can yield in ways that your man's world won't let me, making me feel safe enough to let my body tumble without fear into joy. It's just a fantasy that I spin to myself in my failed husband's bed, a boy again, trapped in this house where every move is pleased. And you tell me you're the one who walks on eggshells. So the next one I'm going to do, this is, Steve did his poem about goths, so this is my goth poem. And it's actually, this poem is an attack on another poem, but it's an attack on another poem of mine. Because I wrote this poem when I was in my mid-20s about how brilliant it was being a teenage goth, because it was all so much fun. And then, as I got older, I sort of thought, I didn't really feel as if it was a great deal of fun at the time. So this is a poem written as if it's my younger self having a go at my older self, mythologising. And also mythologising at the same time. Basically, this is having my cake and eating it, which I do far too much anyway. But, this was never about fun, you rotten liar. Never about fun, but something higher. Never about fun, yes, about drums, pounding like the feet of something, slouching toward Bethlehem, and yes, just like the Bedlam rush that Blake and Kerouac once felt behind their eyes, but to spell ecstatic as just happy is to lie. This is not happiness. This is where happiness comes from, yes, but the feeling here expressed is always more than just a sticking plaster smile. The makeup and the clothes mean more than style. Exile is the option chosen here. Self-imposed retreat from a weekday world purporting to oppose the slavery and cruelty that the normal folk like us perpetuate. The laughter on the bus, the joshing in the corridor, and worse, where authorities will not look out of choice. The turning shoulders and the pungent looks, the managers who have no time for books, the bookshop shelves which creak beneath the weight of self-help shrifts which seek to venerate their smiling rule. No negatives allowed. The can-do nostrums of the lucky and the proud. All the girls who cut their hair like boys, the boys who paint themselves to look like girls, know all how it feels to be crushed by the weight of a world so criminal and so obsessed with being proven right. It calls out in its sleep for punishment. By night, the West is lost in dreams of youth gone wild and risen demons. By morning, once more lulled to acquiescence by the television sermons, by the guys in suits who talk before the game, will drink its coffee and displace its pain again on these young shoulders, wishbone slim in fishnet tops, and go back to its usual kind of sin. But morning's far away. For now, the hurt, the covered cultivar of rage each one has brought, finds, in this pounding dark, a place to effloresce, to bloom in noise and loving violence. I'm going to do one more. This is one that I want to do today because, because I know two people who are going to be redundant. I know one person who's had their DLA cancelled, and I've been following what's been happening in London today, and it sort of seems to me that there's a lot of... I don't generally like overtly angry political poetry, but there's a lot going on to be politically angry about, so this is kind of my Alan Parker Urban Warrior poem. I always think I should read this. I think this would work if I had a voice like Zach Della Rocca, but I don't. I sound more like I look like a Primark Anthony Hegarty. I'm not really sure. But yeah, so this is called Class. This has got a really pretentious title because I called it Class War, and I thought that's stupid. You can't call something Class War, it's obvious. So I put question marks after each word. So it's Class War. It got published. But yeah. When the have-nots decide they'd like to have a little more, you call it class war. Class war. But when the rich declare a silent genocide against the poor, it's never class war. It's only case law. When Muslims get irate and say they'll detonate the state, you say it's faith that generates their hate. But when the guys with homemade jelly night are English born and white, you say they hate because they feel displaced. When a black man, a gay woman, or a trans girl wins promotion, you say they're only there to tick a box. When the cabinet photo's mainly male and pale as suntan lotion, you say that's just the way the penny drops. And when someone points the flaws out in your right-wing scheme of things, you say we're bullshit, right on, worthy, pious. But however loud you shout your lies, there's one thing you can't change. What we deserve, we will demand. You can't deny us.
No.
Thank you.